Hello, and welcome to another episode of Reading Reddit with Amber. Today I have another batch of outrageous stories for you from r/AmITheJerk. Thanks to the people who sent in suggestions for today's video. Our first story today is, Am I the jerk for losing it when my mom's husband used my brother's surgery money to buy his dad a car? I'm a 25-year-old female, and I've been married to my husband, a 27-year-old male, for 2 years. My mom passed away recently, and I let my brother, who's 16, move in with us. I'm taking care of everything for him. His education, his health, everything. He has a chronic respiratory disease, and he already has a savings account because my mom was saving up for his surgery in 2021. I moved the money into our account for several reasons, including issues from the bank itself. And since I work, I started contributing as well. My husband knows well that the money isn't for us just because it is in our account. I repeatedly told him that he cannot make any purchases nor move the money without talking to me to make sure we don't touch the money that belongs to my brother. I just found out 2 days ago that my husband bought his dad a car that cost nearly $13,000. I was confused, and I only heard this from his parents. We only had about $6,000 in our account aside from my brother's money. I got home and I asked him where he got the money. First, he said he'd talk about it in the morning because he was too tired to argue with me. My patience was running out. I asked him again, and he told me he used some of my brother's money to pay for the car. I was stunned. He started making excuses about how his dad needed it and how much he was struggling, and no one was willing to help. He said he didn't want to buy a cheap car, so he won't have to suffer and take it to the shop every other day. I lost it. I yelled at him and told him that this money was for my brother and that my mom saved for his condition. He said that he knew and didn't have a choice. Said that he didn't want to tell me because of my reaction and that he borrowed some of the money and will find a way to pay it back soon. We got into a huge argument that lasted for 2 hours. I called his mom and told her about the car my father-in-law got, that he used my brother's money without even telling me. He lashed out at me after his mom found out, and he got into an argument with his parents. He said that I shouldn't have gotten them involved and I should have taken his word instead of freaking out and yelling at him. I couldn't take it. I took my brother and we went to stay with my aunt. He never stopped calling and apologizing, calling himself stupid and just wanting to help his dad. I haven't replied to his texts, and my aunt said that I shouldn't have yelled at him and instead sat down for a conversation. Not the jerk. Opie's husband just stole money intended for her brother's medical care. Even if the dad needed a new car, he didn't need a $13,000 one, and none of that justifies stealing $7,000 from a sick kid. I definitely recommend setting up a second account ASAP that only Opie and potentially the brother have access to, so the husband cannot access it. Also, I'd recommend that Opie think seriously about whether she wants to be married to someone who has no qualms stealing like that. Even if it was money he had earned, $13,000 is a lot of money to spend without talking to your partner. Why does he think he should make unilateral financial decisions for the family? Our next story is, Am I the jerk for buying my sister-in-law baby formula? I never breastfed my kid. I didn't like the thought of a baby sucking on them, and I wanted to keep my breasts how I saw them, not as a food source. But whether you breastfeed or formula feed is your choice. My sister-in-law is going to have her baby in a few weeks. She has expressed not wanting to breastfeed. My brother, who is controlling, he used to comment on my weight, hair, job search, etc., wants her to breastfeed. She hates the idea. I'm excited to be an aunt, and among some other baby gifts, I got her a case of good baby formula, Similac, so she can focus on her baby and not rush to the store. I also got her the formula with built-in bottles so in the hospital she can just feed instantly. My brother called me a jerk for disrespecting his wishes for his daughter to be breastfed. Sister-in-law was super thankful for the gift, and there's not a breast pump, nipple shield, or any other breastfeeding accessory in sight to breastfeed anyway. But I still feel bad as my brother is controlling and likes to judge, and I sometimes have resentment towards him for that. Now he's judging me for what I got his wife. Am I the jerk? Not the jerk. Opie's brother isn't the one doing the feeding. Opie's sister-in-law is. Brother, of course, can express his preferences, but he needs to respect that it's his wife's choice whether or not she wants to breastfeed. No one should be forced to do something with their body that they're not comfortable with. Our next story is, am I the jerk for telling my boyfriend to get off his butt and do something with his kid? I, a 27-year-old female, have 3 kids, 9-year-old male, 9-year-old female, and 6-year-old male. I've been dating my boyfriend, a 28-year-old male, for just over 8 months. He has a 7-year-old daughter. We are still in the getting the kids to adjust stage, so basically we have weekend sleepovers and play dates kind of thing, but live separately. I have full custody of my kids. He has his daughter every other weekend. For Christmas, we decided to spend the entire week together. All of the kids and us in my family cabin. Lots of privacy. I spoke to my boyfriend's daughter's mom personally and asked to have her for that week. She said yes. I even invited her so she was here for her daughter to open presents on Christmas. Flash forward to the days following Christmas. We are due to leave the cabin tomorrow. My boyfriend has not gotten off his butt once to interact with his daughter. She has been so far crammed up my butt that I can't even move without her bumping into me. I'm used to this, obviously, because I have babies of my own. I also love this little girl and want to pinch her chubby cheeks 24/7, but I'm getting irritated at this point. He has not helped her put together her gifts, has not played with her, has not baked with her. I had all the kids baking cookies. Nothing. I have been doing everything. So last night, I was making the kids cocoa and I said, "Hey, want to come get Sarah some cocoa?" He said, "You're right there. Can't you just do it?" So I sucked it up and made her the cocoa with extra marshmallows because I was being petty and knew he didn't want her having that much sweets before bed. He glared at me. I smirked in return. Childish. Later that night, after the kids were in bed, I said to him, "You really need to get off your butt and do something with your kid. You're treating me like I'm the parent here. This was supposed to be a family thing, and so far, it's me and the kids only while you sit on your butt and play with your new toys. I'm fed up." Somehow, this got misconstrued into him thinking that I don't want his child around, and immediately he said, "You're a jerk." I would never have sparked this relationship if I knew you would find a way to hold my kid against me. Now I'm curious if what I said could even have been taken that way. Not the jerk. I can see now why the boyfriend has his daughter only every other weekend. It sounds like he's not invested in parenting at all, and that's really sad. Nothing about what OP said or did suggests that she doesn't care about her boyfriend's daughter. She's just fed up with acting as a single parent, while the other capable adult in the household shirks his parenting role. This is painful, but probably an important moment for OP, because her boyfriend has made it clear that if they end up together long term, she's going to be the one doing all the parenting. Our last story today is, am I the jerk for expecting my boyfriend to replace all my socks the exact same ones as I had before? Now, I've covered sock stories before. I'll try and remember to link to the previous video I did below. But apparently there is a trend of people destroying their partner's socks, and I don't understand it, but we're going to dive into this today anyway. This might seem silly. I'm a 24-year-old female, and I like wearing cheerful socks since my uniform is all white. Currently working as a phlebotomist, it usually cheers up the patients too. I've spent a few years collecting strange socks, ones with sushi, pizza, corgis, cats, Nick Cage, etc. I think I had about 30 pairs. My boyfriend, who's a 29-year-old male, has always hated them and thinks they're childish. So I agreed to only wear them to work and never on dates or around his family or friends. I thought that was fair. On Boxing Day, his parents came over for coffee and gifts. Just the 4 of us, which is allowed where I live, and keeping a solid 3 meters apart. I accidentally put on a pair of childish socks, and his mother made a comment about it. I explained that I wear them to work to cheer people up, and she liked that. My boyfriend didn't. The next day, all my socks were gone, and the drawer was filled with plain black socks. I asked my boyfriend, and he told me he threw them away and purchased some more appropriate socks so I won't embarrass him in front of his parents again. I told him that that's ridiculous, They were mine and he had no right to throw them away, not to mention that I spent quite some time collecting them. So I made a list of the ones I remembered I had and told him that I expect the same ones as a replacement. He told me that's completely unreasonable and that it would take a lot of time, effort, and money for him to find those specific pairs. I haven't changed my mind yet. They cost me a lot of time and effort to find too. I think he's being controlling. He thinks I'm being unreasonable and demanding. Am I the jerk? I think I might be a jerk for asking for the exact same pairs. I know that'll take a lot of effort to find. Edit. Thanks everyone for replying. I've realized this might not be a normal fight and I'm evaluating the relationship. I'm going to say that OP is definitely not the jerk here. He destroyed her property. She's entitled to ask for a suitable replacement, but she should probably also replace the whole boyfriend as well if he has that little respect for her. Look, socks are something fun that people can wear, kind of as like, a fun little thing. It's not hurting anyone. Her patients enjoy it, and she's already made a huge compromise by not wearing them around his friends and family. So I don't get his deal here. And I am a full-grown adult, older than OP, and basically all my socks are patterned socks. So, I have cat socks, I have food socks, other cute animals, Halloween, just all patterned socks, and it's great. It's fun. I really like them. So I don't blame OP at all for liking fun socks, and her boyfriend's being a huge jerk. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving it a like or letting me know in the comments. I post new videos twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I'm a guest over on Brian's Advice on Thursdays. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.